Okay, so I'll go through XRP, and there's not a huge amount to say from yesterday. I suppose the one thing I'll go to first is I was talking yesterday about this impulse, and this is the 1 hour, and the EMA is the 20 and the 55. This is the VWAP. is we were looking at the 20 crossing 55 in the 1 hour, and again you can see it did turn, and it's heading back down again. Yeah, so you can see this here. When we go on to the other chart, you'll see that this is on the hourlies, the 200 MA is something like this. Yeah, so you can see it's after having a second go at it, it's having a third go at it, and the MAs do look like they're going to break through. So where are they going to break through to? So when I look at this chart here, again you can see here's the symmetrical triangle here. You see it's broken back in to the outer line. You see the inner line here again. So these two lines here, still working through that. Excuse me. Is the 3709 is the 55 EMA on the daily. So you can see it's back below that again. Yeah, it's been bouncing up and down on for the last bunch of days. It's back below it. The 3469 is the 200. The 200. Oh no, it's not the 200. Yes. It's the. Let me change this. It is the 400 on Bitcoin. Is the 200 MA on the weekly. On XRP, it is the 400 MA on the weekly. The 400 MA on the weekly, which has been holding a lot of support, is at 3469. I'll just show you here. Yeah, there we go. There it is. There it's on Bitstamp. So this is the weekly, and you can see price action has been bouncing along this. Yeah. So I'm making a point of it because we're in a correction and we're looking at potential areas where it could bounce and get a retrace. Yeah. So the 37 on the daily. Here's the 50 MA on the daily, and then this one here is the 20 EMA on the daily. Okay, so now you can see that we're testing this level again at 36.99. We break this, the next level down is 35.91. I do believe that it'll have a strong enough push to get it down to around the 30 to 35 to 34.50, somewhere around here. I'm for sure when I look at the way the MAs are moving, which is what we're going to look at now. Yeah. And the reason being is when the 200 MA breaks, it'll be a good solid push down. Yeah. So let's just have a quick look. Where's my MAs? Okay. So with the MAs, I'm going to zoom out and then zoom in, and I'm only going to look at the daily one that's changed. So the 5-day has changed. Excuse me. So you can see the previous 5 days, the 20 MA rejected. Long rejection wick. Again, lots of support coming under for the 5 and the 10. And it does signify a rejection. So the question is that can this 5 become resistance? And again, that's a 36.72. So we get this 5 turning for resistance. Equally, when you look at the stock RSI, it's topping out. And again, you can see this 5 days, it's ranging, it's starting to come to the top. I'd be curious to see now what happens in the next 5 days. But equally it can begin to move down. It can begin to move down in a correction as this crests. Now that's if it's moving down, because when I look at YouTube, there's an awful lot of pump boys are also saying it's going to the moon, so it's going to pop. So let's just zoom in a little bit more just to see what would take it down and what would take it up. So here's the daily. So at the moment on the daily is you can see there's a battle going on between the 5, nice sharp turn down on the 5, significant sharp turn down on the 5, and then look, there's a significant push up on the 10. If you look the first half of the day, the 10 was pushing up. There's always going to be a seesaw when you get MAs facing off like this, yeah? So which one goes first is always important. So the 10 got the push up first, which means the 5 is you can see it's pushing back now, yeah? So generally, whichever one pushes up first is when the second one pushes down, the second one has a tendency to dominate, yeah? Generally. So we'll see if this turns red and starts to head down, yeah? Is a key thing to happen here is you can see it's wicked. It's wicked to the Bollinger 3 times. It's come back down. Here's the medial line, so it's wicked to the center line here. If it's going to go up, there's a tendency for, you can see price action here. Look, it's top of the Bollinger, bottom of the Bollinger, breaks through, establishes itself on the medial line, pushes up, gets a rejection. If the medial line holds, then it's a push up again, yeah. So the challenge is to break this medial line if it's going to head down for those 35 or so target, yeah. There's the 50 MA at 34, 35, yeah. So that's still the same. Still the same as it's been the last couple of days. On the 12-hour, again, the 10 is coming over here, which is good for the push down. However, the 5 has been pushing, and it's very close to price action. So the likes of the 12-hour, when the 5 gets as close as it does to price action, it's also just as easy to turn. So you can see the bounces off the 20 EMA here, 1 to the 20 MA. Look at the 20 MA coming up here. So there's definitely a battle going on. Let me just zoom in to. I'll just go to the 4-hour. Keep this nice and tight. So look, you can see there's at the beginning to be a consolidation around the price action here. Now this is where, look at the battle here, is look at the 50 coming up through here. You can see the rejections, excuse me, is look at the 20 coming down here. Again, you can see the rejection, so it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Is at the moment, it favors the down because the 20 EMA is coming down. Look at that sharp turn on the 5, the VWAP is resistance, the 10 is wicking down. So it looks like all the EMAs and MAs are going to push it down. However, here's the 55 holding like a good thing too. So it's just too hard to tell. It looks like it's going to break for sure. Excuse me, but all these guys need to do is hold it enough, get these to snap up, and these guys could turn just as quickly. Look, you can see it as we're talking. You can see it. You can see it pushing. The down does seem to be what's going to happen for the rest of the day, and then you can see the stock RSI on the 4-hour. And Mihaela pointed out something really good on the MACD. So the MACD on the daily. You can see the MACD on the daily is just about to turn down. It's already turned down on the 12-hour. So that's a really good sign for the down as well. Yeah. So I'd say if the MACD on the day turns down, we're definitely going to get a solid push down for the 35 or so. Personally, I believe if it does get down there, I think it's going to continue down and do at least somewhere around the double bottom, somewhere around the 30 mark. But that still has to be confirmed. That's it. I could keep talking on, but I'm really gonna say the same thing. I will say one thing about the 18-hour. I noticed just over here, super sharp turn down on the 10 and the 5. Like if you look at the spill motion of the 5 and the 10 here, generally when you see that in the pattern of the MAs, is generally that's setting up a strong push. Whatever direction it's in, it's setting up a strong push. So and this is not going to change until 6 o'clock this evening. So and it certainly looks like it's going to continue down. So if I was to say if the push down was going to, the breakthrough is going to come for the push down, it looks like it's going to happen today. It looks like it's going to snap today. Yeah. If not early tomorrow. But that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if it snapped up, because it's just the space that it's in. It can flicker. It can flicker in an instant. The way it is at the moment. Not a good time to go in on a trade. So I'm waiting for this phase to pass. And when the confirmation of the up or down is in, then I'll be hopping back in. But for now, I'm going to leave you with Mahela.
So yesterday we were back testing the support line of the peak formation. So this was the peak formation here. Tested the 24.6. You can call it a head and shoulders or a round top, whatever you choose to call it. And this was the support for it. Now, for 2 days, it's been back testing this support and resistance line. And this line held. It held very. I know it was torturous yesterday, because it was here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours. It was back testing this. Horrible wait. It was absolutely horrible to wait for all of this. But fortunately, it held. Fortunately for our shorts, it held. And it seems that, to me, now again, this might be my 4-hour trading influence here, because this trade is no longer a 1-hour trade. This trade is a 4-hour trade right now. By the duration of this consolidation, this is no longer a 1-hour swing. This is a 4-hour swing. So I know there's a lot of sideways, and in that sideways there are smaller swings, but I believe a conservative target for this trade, for this level, if I am just taking this length here, like that. Now my target is 21.8, the next level here, but a conservative target would be the next line at 22.2. I just find it hard to believe that we have done all of this consolidation just to do a quadruple bottom here. I find it hard. I find it hard to believe. My experience says something bigger is coming, but that's it's not my bias. It's the more likely scenario. It stayed on the second level to consolidate for a third level, and it's brought a lot of MAs up that are now coming down. So on the MAs chart, where's the 200? There it is. On the MAs chart now, the 5 is coming down. Let me check the 4-hour, because I think the 4-hour is the one that's holding. Yeah. So on the 4-hour we have the 5 crossing the 20 and the 10 on the way down. Now on the 4-hour, I believe, again, that's why my target is 21.8, because the 200 on the 4-hour is there, and if you can see, the 200 is the support of this whole swing up. Now if that is for that to happen, so for the target of 22.2 or 22.3, or my target of 21.8, for those two targets to happen, we have one more hurdle to go through. So I said that the first hurdle was the 20 on the 4-hour. It's past it. The next hurdle is a lower low. We need a lower low. We haven't had a lower low all this time, and this is why this is taking so long, because we haven't had a lower low. So with higher highs and higher lows, of course, a reversal to the upside might happen. So we need a lower low. I will be watching today and see that we get a lower low. The same invalidation. Now I'm gonna add the lower low to the validation and invalidation points. So for today, how can I say, to be able to navigate the space that we're in, these are the two coordinates that we're looking at. For Bitcoin, breaking into a lower low means to me coming back to test the 200 on the 4 hour, at least. If it doesn't break a lower low, especially in the London session and then the New York session, it's consolidating here, it's holding all of this. I don't like the 50 on the 4 hour coming up, but I imagine it's doing a bit like what this has done here. So it's a bit like that. But if it doesn't do the lower low and it holds the previous low and it breaks again the same invalidation line, I know it's a bigger space, just to be more cautious and more responsive, I would say if it breaks up again above the 20 here, I would be worried about the upwards reversal. I would be looking at it as a 50-50 scenario. So at the moment, I'd say the down is more likely, especially since the RSIs on the time frames are set for the down. Let me just so that the RSI on the daily is on the down, and on the 4 hour has turned down. So there's loads of momentum for the down. Now we need to break that lower low is at the 22,500 level, and it's the 20 on the daily. And once the 20 on the daily breaks, if the 200 on the 4 hour doesn't hold it, then this line of this channel at around 21k would be the target, because we're still in this channel and we're still moving within this space. But the 20 on the daily needs to break. If the 55 on the daily breaks upwards, then we're looking at a reversal, and that 55 on the daily is the invalidation line here at 23.5. So I hope we won't have to do again a watch party around the invalidation line. Ethereum is looking great on the 4 hour. It's lost all of its support. The MA on the 200 MA on the 4 hour is at 1590. So we're again, it's worth watching what happens when it breaks this, because when it breaks this, let's see if we have any other major MA on the 1 day. Yeah, okay. So at 1590 you have, oh, very good, we have the 5 crossing over the 10 on the daily on Ethereum. So again, nice pressure down. It's still above the 20 MA on the daily. Now the Bollinger is reasonably wide. It's not any particularly wide or open. It's slightly starting to close in. So I'd be watching for the 1570 level to be broken, and then again, I know it sounds a little bit. It sounds like a very juicy target. The next level would be the 50 on the daily. Now it might not get there in one trade. It might take a couple of swings to get there, and that's at 1300. Going back to the levels that we have on the day. Going back to the levels that we have on the day, Ethereum is back into the box, and it has crossed back into this is the peak formation box. This was the accumulation box for this lift up, and then in order to continue upwards, this needs to hold. So it found a little bit of support here, which would be the 1570. So this would be, if this breaks, which is the 20 on the daily. Again, it depends on what time frame you would like to trade. It's easier to trade the 1 hour, because you will be doing this trade all the way down to 1300. If it goes there, 1300 would be back to the let me move this line, back to this consolidation range, which would be the 50 on the 4 hour. Let me, yeah. I'm finding it hard to remember the correlations between the MAs. But anyways, 1300 was the base, and then if it breaks the 1570, 1300 would be the next level on the MAs on the daily. But it might not get there straight off. So if you're trading the 1 hour, going level by level in those swings, the way Neil did yesterday when he took the profit here, waited for this to top out, and then entered another trade here. So that is a 1 hour more flexible, more adaptable strategy. You're not letting your profits run, and you're going with the market. So again, just as a summary, yesterday we backtested the invalidation line, the support and resistance for the peak formation. It held in both Ethereum's and Bitcoin's case. Today, what we're looking for is lower lows. Ethereum seems to be a little bit behind compared to Bitcoin in terms of the lower lows. It needs to break but that's because the 1570 is the 20 on the daily. I think it's the same as Bitcoin, but Bitcoin's getting closer. Anyways, breaking into lower lows would facilitate a deeper correction to the down. Breaking the invalidation line upwards would make it go up and do another leg up. So that is also possible, but we will discuss that when we see some support being regained, because at the moment it has lost the support on the 1 hour, on the 2 hour, the 4 hour, and even on the daily it's the 20 that's holding it. So that's where everything is this morning. I will see you tonight for the weekly trading review, the post-trade analysis, the weekly post-trade analysis, and that's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions, and have a good day trading.